has.
Yeah.
Where we are in 8 refugee camps on the Chad-Sudan border, which is so cool. So we have there 32 coaches, full-time staff. And then we have one in Cameroon, and that's 5 coaches. We're committed to doing the other 4 camps in Eastern Chad as soon as we can.
Chad.
In Chad, so another 4 to be 2, so the 4 remaining. We're very close to where our refugee crew could do it on their own. Like I right now I feel okay with them doing. I'd rather in this next trip during the training camp, like solidify exactly what they would do and like they would be good with the soccer stuff, right, Amy?
Yeah,
you feel
definitely.
that, Sully, and with help.
Yeah.
And then with even more guidelines, that they could do the training for the soccer. I think all the other stuff that we add would need like a more in-depth training for them to take care of. They really get now the iAct way, and they're a part of it. So that's really cool. So for the last 4, for sure they'll do some of them. You know, they'll at the very least do 1. They might do 2. And it's just because we'll need it. The camps are like, now we have the one all the way up to the north, in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, the
really
Orcasonians.
difficult to get to, and
But do you think that one needs,
so we might
I'm sorry,
go.
like an outsider to talk about the gender equality
Yeah,
aspect
that was
of
a
it?
rough people.
Who's from there?
They're
Do you
hard
have
to-
someone from there?
Yeah. The weather is, yeah.
Yeah, so the population, they're all Sagawa, and they live in the desert, so it kind of goes, they're more conservative, they're like, yeah. But so yeah, so we have to go to that, but then we have another camp, Trejing, which is all the way out also, so you kind of have to, there's nothing now easy for these 4. So we got to figure out how we get them done.
You're gonna try to do that in January?
No, but right after.
Let's stop
So-
adding stuff to the January
So
trip.
ideally, the one right after that.
Yeah. Before the rainy season starts again
Yeah.
next June.
Can I gotta go soon to Irvine, but can you do like an elevator, like another, like an updated, because it's all changed from, like for us, if we were talking, like our elevator speech with the new facts.
Yeah,
with
so
all
I'm
this?
gonna work with Barnes, the executive director of Manhattan Beach Education Foundation, to put together like 7 slides and talking points to go with those
Talking points.
that everybody can have and
Yeah.
everybody can represent. And then she's gonna do a training, probably not for a couple months, but we'll get you those slides earlier in the talking points, and then she'll come and do a local training for our board and for anybody who wants to join on like how to pitch iAct.
Like a summer, yeah, because
Yes.
it's changed.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to get better with also keeping that updated and like
Yes.
putting it somewhere online or like that people can access so that they're up to date on like the current numbers because they are
Yeah.
changing so
Right,
frequently now.
and so then I
Yeah.
think like so that we just have a little, like we
Yeah.
kind of do in the, at the tournament,
Right, we
saying,
do
here,
talking
if anyone
points.
comes to you,
Yeah.
here are the talking points, say
Yeah.
A
this,
few bullet
right?
points
So I
that
don't say
everybody
anything
has.
wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Slides
But
are
yeah,
compact.
Rusa is just,
Yeah, that'd be
it's such a nice, packet. It's just, it should also be, it should be easy to fund it because of it's just huge impact. It's low cost. It's lightweight. We go out there 4 days, and then a few months later, you have hundreds of kids, boys and girls, in this comprehensive program. So it's not just soccer. It's leadership. We throw in health and hygiene, mindfulness. So it's just it's powerful. And when we visit like leaders, like we went to see the sheik at Camp Columbus and Milet, and they're just so appreciative of the academy. And these are camps that were very iffy on the girls' side. Like one of them pretty shut us down because of the girls, and we had to tell them that then we won't have the boys either. So it is just they're transformational. I mean, Little Ripples is the one that gets us like the attention and the prizes and everything. But I think Refugees United, as far as impact, is just a lot bigger. We're reaching so many more kids, and it's still in a very meaningful way. And it can be anywhere. So Little Ripples can go anywhere, but Refugees United is just ready to travel.
And
We can take it anywhere
And I think like as we expand Little Ripples to these other contexts, so the reason we have one in Cameroon is when Sarah Christine and Gabe were doing the needs assessment for Little Ripples, they
Yeah.
just launched an academy. Because
Yeah,
you bring
I
a
said,
duffel bag of stuff, and
Yeah.
one of our staff members, now we have two, Amy and Sarah Christine, who can run and, do a training session, do the coaches training camp in 4 days. Like you can easily combine them. So like as we go to CAR, we talked about this morning, they've invited us to release it to 27 preschool centers, 90 teachers. We can take 4 extra days, and do a
You
training
can do it at
camp.
the same time.
You could do it at the same time, like
Yeah.
Gabriel's in doing teacher training and, or Sarah Christine, and then like Amy's out, in the field. So it's a very lightweight. And it does, like to launch one, the numbers have stayed pretty much the same. To launch one, it's like 10 grand, and that helps cover like the iAct staff going out there. Usually like we get a lot of the balls and then we buy some equipment that doesn't get donated, but like pop-ups and ladders, most of it gets donated. And then it's the coaches' salaries. And then to sustain it, we pay our coaches like between $90 and $100 a month. So you have 4 of those, in one camp for 12 months, like.
with just a very little extra beyond that.
Yeah, it's very,
So it's,
stuff that you can ask, every time we put up an academy wish list on Amazon, it gets, sent to us. So the sustaining of it, putting it up is easy and lightweight, and sustaining it is lightweight, although difficult to fund because everything's hard to fund, but the impact is really big.
Yeah, you think that we, if we can get in the door with potential sponsors and like big soccer related, it's just too good to not want to support it.
Yeah, so like sister clubs, we have one sister club,
Yeah, that's
official sister club, that's another actual soccer club, which is Honolulu Galaxy. Last year they had 3,000 club players, so they sent a check for 3,000. They acquired another club, so they actually added about 500 new players, and Paul and I are set to speak next week, but he's like, I just signed your check for 3,600 for this year. So he just increased his club dues by $10. So every family is essentially giving their child and a refugee child play for a year. Soccer in an academy for a year. And so that's the model. What's been difficult is getting in front of the decision makers in the clubs. So like we have a lead on Fram, I've been trying to work on Mark for like 2 years.
What do you mean to? It's
There's
been
5,
from
10.
the very beginning.
So it's getting in, to the right people within the club, because there's people who are interested, but it's the decision makers who yes, we will increase it. In this board meeting, everybody's voting to increase it by $10 and to send it to iAct every year.
Yeah, and just think of how many clubs there is in the U.S. If we get a small fraction of them to do that, all of our academies are paid for.
And we keep it personal, so the conversation I'm having with Paul in a couple weeks is what we should do this year, for the relationship. Last year, we sent video messages and they did equipment donations, and the kids in Honolulu signed the balls with messages, and then they took those for the academy, which is exciting for the academy members. And then we gave him a framed picture of academy players and then what they wanted to be when they grew up. Danny made it really, he was blown away by it. So it's little
They
things.
also sent videos of their training.
Yeah, videos of
That was
training.
really
So
cool. We
James,
showed it to the
yeah,
coaches
you
over there.
mentioned
So-
having the DU players, but also that's a way for clubs to get involved. Show your favorite drill that you do, or teach them a move and video, and we'll send it over and they'll get to learn that, and it creates this sort of not as in depth as our school sisters programs, but it's been working with the clubs we've had. OFK, the 0.1 campaign, they all employees, not just players, give 0.1%.
0.1.
0.1%, yeah, 0.1%. their salaries back to Darfur United.
For Rusa.
For RUSA, back to iAct for the academies.
Can one of their sponsors match that? Is there matching?
Yeah, that would
We
be
could ask
good.
Al to like investigate that.
Have you done anything with AYSO?
I have done with AYSO, a lot of it has been equipment donations. So in Manhattan Hermosa Beach AYSO, we went for a couple years and did at their year-end jamboree, would have a table and that kind of stuff. And we would offer the $10, and we would probably raise like $100, you know, like 10 people would sponsor a kid. And then
Yeah.
the different AYSO
Ideally,
teams.
we moved to finding a sponsor for new soccer balls that are good,
Yeah.
and we're not taking used ones. I know it's you know, people love getting the used balls, but you know, to take stuff out there just costs so much that you want it to be in top shape. We end up throwing out a lot of the balls that,
We had
you
two
know, they're just
massive
not-
garage full of
yeah.
stuff initially. After that, people wanted, but maybe going on that idea is maybe a table or something for some high school interns, that maybe one of those AYSO things. And instead of collecting stuff, maybe parents walk by and do some outreach and maybe,
Yeah,
because a lot of AYSO kids do play club too.
yeah.
And maybe you can stick a couple high schoolers from Alice Club and stick them there with the,
The right information.
yeah.
KJ, just a side note for the
Yeah.
building the, you know, the connection between kids on this side and that side. And they don't necessarily have to send like a soccer related thing, it can be related to like other themes of curriculum, like peace building, gender equality,
Yeah.
education. So something about their life in regards to those topics here.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So besides like the sister clubs, are there other ways to keep RUSA or the academy sustainable? I mean, that's,
Yeah, it adds up, you know, it's once you start having 9 academies and going up,
yeah.
it adds up to a lot of, and this is all money we cover, so there is no partner on the ground that covers part of it or anything. It's
Yeah.
all iAct found money.
Can I mean, I know, I'm sure you guys have looked into this a lot, but it just seems like such a big cost of these programs is getting the equipment over there.
Not for RUSA, the biggest
Not
cost
for-
is
sorry.
salaries. Yeah, I mean, we
That's
just,
but-
so it's just the luggage fee.
But if there was, I mean, there's no other way to sort of streamline getting materials to the
No.
kids?
You are, I welcome your research, but all the research that we've got, so even
Yeah.
Rupert, so he's a pilot, so FedEx gives him like 75% off.
Even more,
Like it's
90%.
It was like $300 for a box this big of medical
Yeah.
supplies
And then you probably can't get it out of customs.
Yeah.
Right, that's the hard part.
They
is
take it.
Customs is really
They take
tough.
it, yeah.
It's like when Coach Mark went, didn't the guy like measure the
Yeah.
shoe going on? Luckily it didn't fit because the customs guy would have kept it. He's like,
Yeah, no, that's always the story though, that one NGO that had a computer shipped, it was in customs for 1 year, and they paid more than the cost of the computer to
Oh,
get it out.
easily,
yeah,
yeah.
you
So it's, yeah, to Chad, you just cannot do any, it's really what we bring with us.
I have to go.
Okay,
Thank you, nice
wait,
meeting you.
wait, really quick,
No.
sorry. Can we talk about Giving Tuesday for Alex really quick, because I feel like she's somebody who might sign up, or her daughters might, or Rupert
Talk
might.
about it in-
Giving Tuesday, just like really
general?
briefly, like, yeah.
You
what
need
the-
something
what the
from me?
goal is.
I need to give.
You want me to give you the-
I need to-
Yeah.
What do I need to give?
We're not doing enough.
Yeah.
Look at James like, I don't want to talk to Alex.
No, I mean it kind of comes back to what you're,
Yeah.
because like the real cost is salary for the players, because
Yeah.
we're going on these trips anyway, or Gabe is, so that they bring it in, and that's the most insured way to like get stuff out there. But for the salaries are things that mean a lot, obviously, and they like help these people's lives like immeasurably to have like a job and like responsibility and respect, and pride in the community. And so part of it, we're for Giving Tuesday, which is like every Tuesday after Black Friday.
After Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah, after Thanksgiving. Giving Tuesday is an organization that does like, I guess they kind of like help facilitate, but we've done it every year since probably like 2012. This year we're gonna do it on Facebook, because Facebook and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is doing like a matching fund program. So the idea is we'll raise on our page, but it's only up to $1,000 that they'll match. So we also then have to recruit a couple people to raise on their own personal
15
page.
15 people.
Ideally 15 people, because they'll do it up to 50,000. So if we raise 50,000, we'll get 100,000.
Yeah.
In this, it's until the money's gone. So we kind of have to be really aggressive with it. So our idea is to use 3 stories from different programs. So Zainab is a teacher at Little Ripples. Salwa is a cook for Little Ripples, and then there's Solomon, who's a coach. And so the idea is we're going to try to recruit iAct supporters to fundraise on behalf, well, not necessarily on behalf, but like basically using their story as a way to sort of explain like what this money goes to. And so we're asking, obviously everyone here is invited to do that. But this is kind of like part of the way we're trying to create more sustainability is outsourcing or like leveraging our supporters to do some fundraising within their own networks. So we're gonna have like packages for each one of these refugee employees, because they're our staff.
There are staff.
And then we're gonna encourage people to then share it over the course of that day and then the days leading up. So
Yeah, so like a Giving Tuesday iAct ambassador, for instance, would start a fundraiser for iAct on their page in honor of one of these 3
Their Facebook
people.
page.
On their Facebook page. It has to be on their
It has
Facebook
to be,
page.
because a lot of the high schoolers don't use Facebook.
Yeah, it has to be on, in order for Bill and Melinda Gates to match it, it has to be on Facebook. And so that's why it's doubling impact. We've never done a matching for Giving Tuesday. That's why it's really exciting, and they will give up to $50,000. They'll match up to $50,000 per nonprofit, up to $2 million.
So
They
what's
take
the
one and pass
technicality? I heard something about
You-
$1,000,
You
but then
have, they
50?
only, for each fundraiser started,
So each Facebook page.
each Facebook fundraiser that's started, your Facebook page, Alex's Facebook page, the iAct Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, they will only match that page up to 1,000.
right.
Okay.
But it all goes back, and then they'll match it,
But up
because
to
you,
50 for the
nonprofit that you're
50,000.
funding.
Okay.
And you can raise more than that, obviously. The only
Yeah.
1,000 we match, you can raise less of it, and we'll still get that money, and
Okay.
it'll be matched. But
Yeah.
ideally, we're going to have enough people raise up to $1,000 so that we can get the max amount of matching.
So one idea to throw it out there is Facebook is, I think they're still really pushing and prioritizing the Facebook Live. They
Yeah.
really want more people to kill their
Yeah.
competitors that also do live broadcasting. What if we could, as part of the messaging, encourage people, I don't know what the best time would be, but actual Thanksgiving Day. I have a feeling a lot of people after the meals will be messing around on Facebook. And as soon as you go live, it starts pinging all your friends to like, hey, look, your friend is live. To like do like a, hey, like how was your meal, and like talk about that
Yeah.
coming up is
Well-
Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like an introduction to it.
The one little details on this
Yeah.
is that they are waiving all processing fees, but only on Tuesday.
Okay.
And the matching is only on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, but
Okay,
we want
yeah,
people
yeah.
to
You
kind of
can sign
encourage
them up,
before.
Yeah, you can sign
Yeah,
them
yeah,
up
you
for
could
that.
you could talk about
You
it
could
as
talk
a
about it.
teaser or
But we'd
say,
want to do a
yeah.
live on the day of Tuesday
Yeah, yeah.
sometime. Like try to figure out when the ideal time would be, because
Yeah.
then they have a little donate button on the live video.
Yeah.
Can you
But-
transfer something from like for instance, Mustangs for Change or iAct for Change, whatever's rebranded. By the way, Mac leaves in,
iAct for refugees.
if whatever their thing is. Is there any way to like hook up that to Facebook? Like, can you raise it somewhere else and like tie it in?
No, it's got to all go through in order to get it matched.
Right.
So like they would be ideal as, raising it under the banner of Mustangs for Change or
Right.
something.
They have a
Um,
Facebook group, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one checks it. No one's on it.
But they could, but if they started now and they were
Yeah.
and they said, at their meeting, and I'll do it, you don't have to, Ella and Hannah, and I'll say, for this specific thing,
Right.
let's use our Facebook group to make it super active and use it just for this one thing so that we double our impact. That's the motivating
But
factor.
they can do a bake sale and then put it into
And
Facebook.
then, yeah,
That's,
they can
Yeah.
do that, yeah.
They would have to have
They do
somebody
have
putting
bake
into
sale
their
money,
account
yeah.
and then.
Right,
Yeah.
and then donate it.
Then donate it, yeah, so they
But-
can do that.
So like in that case, the money that they raised from the bake sale,
Yeah.
which I got reamed for, because they were like, you cannot
And Hannah
sell,
already got her
you
little
cannot
fingers in that
sell
bake sale.
coffee and pastries next to Java Man. I was like, oh, you
My-
they have like a
Great.
non-compete contract. I was like, oops,
Oops.
sorry.
Yeah.
But they have that cash,
You
and
should have
maybe
said
they,
it's not selling,
well,
it's donation.
they can't, but it doesn't.
It didn't look right.
It-
It really did.
Yeah.
I told them, I'm like, are you sure? And they're, yeah, stay out of
So-
it.
Anyways, but
Alright.
anyways, back to the thing. So
Right.
you have that cash in a cash box. Ella does. So instead of donating, instead of processing it through Maricosta like they usually do, they could give it to you, and you could just make the donation.
But make sure you do it on Tuesday through
On
one
Tuesday
of
through
these.
our
That's
fundraising.
Would they
fundraising.
count for us non-techie people?
Well,
It's gonna have to
okay.
tie back into you, so that
Yeah.
you make your own page.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a URL, we have like a fundraising, because
Right,
we're
okay,
registered
I
as
get it. I
nonprofit.
have to go with
Okay.
them.
So,
Yes.
right.
Good.
But if you want to do it, you can sign up on this little thing and select the person
And
that
on
you
the
want to
wall.
fundraise for, or on the wall, or just email me or email someone on the team.
Do you have, would everyone have to make the donation on Facebook? So if someone.
For
Yes.
this
On Tuesday.
for this campaign.
But I mean, they'd have to enter their credit card information to Facebook.
Right, through the processing, the same that they would have to through Commit Change or any other
Yeah.
Yeah.
network that we have.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but this is also like we're trying to pilot models of like, you know, fundraising, like basically like empowering people to fundraise on our behalf. And this is just kind of an opportunity to sort of test that idea out.
Yeah, I think we should really roll it out or encourage people
Yeah.
to get started before Tuesday. Because, like, what'd you say? You have to be exposed to something 7 times
Right.
before you'll buy it.
Right.
Yeah, so our goal is to roll it out the first week of November. So
Okay,
next
yeah.
week, start, have the instruction
First
page
week of
up.
November is-
Now.
Is next week,
No.
yeah. Well, I'm counting next week as the first week. So
You are?
the second week.
Well, so we're gonna have graphics like
Yeah.
packaged in like a Dropbox that say, you know, save the date,
My
and then
calendar, we're going
like
to
1 week to go, and like
Yeah.
we're gonna give people the resources so they know exactly how to schedule.
And leading up to it, like the
Yeah.
idea is that with the stories, they post things leading up to it and on the day
Yeah.
of to get their community involved.
Yeah.
Do we have any way of collecting, like, people online, like, their interests so that we could then message them directly?
Yeah, that
The
would be a
sort of
good
daily
thing.
updates leading up to it?
So
I don't
have
know if
people
there's,
sign up.
yeah.
An event?
Oh
Facebook
yeah,
event?
yeah, because then you can message event attendees, and the event is on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
idea.
yeah
Yeah.
Facebook event.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do a Facebook event and we'll have anyone, because that's the whole thing, is you
Yeah.
can only go live with your fundraising page the day of the
Yeah.
fundraiser.
Yeah, and then
So
just
at
make it
12:01.
public and encourage people
Yeah.
to invite their friends to the event, and then that's an easy way to
Yeah.
get their eyeballs on it. Yeah. Can you just like manually add people to say this person's coming to the event, or how does that work? I
No,
thought
you
You
have to
invite
invite
them,
them.
You
and then
invite
they have to
them, okay.
confirm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so the other idea is that this coming week, I'll reach out to, people who I think will do this. I have probably like 10 donors in mind who are active on Facebook who use it on a regular basis, and I'll ask them to do this, and the goal would be 15 people. So 15 people sign up to
Right. And
attend the
people that
event
are,
and start the fundraising,
Yeah.
start the fundraiser.
that have in the past, donated or had events
Yeah.
or volunteered. It's the idea to get those. And then this kind of will feed into the idea of like having on the website like handbooks for fundraisers year
Yeah.
round. So like if you want to fundraise on your birthday or you want to fundraise, on a holiday or something.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure Alex heard that before she left. So let's go back to She's United if there's anything else. Any other ideas, I think, for sustainability for Tuesday, and then we'll take a break and come back to the funding and fundraising stuff, and explore the Giving Tuesday a little bit more. All right, well, we take a break, and then stretch your legs,